What are we talking about today, Eric?
Well,
Where are we right now?
right now, we are living in a world where season 3 of the Arguably Awesome podcast exists, where it's a thing. It's a thing now. It's out. It's us, baby.
Trace!
Wow.
Spanish.
Hey, okay. Look at you. You've been brushing up, huh?
No.
He's like, not even a little bit.
I just know the basics, very little. Typical.
Oh, of course,
Yeah,
of course.
season 3 of Arguably Awesome. I can't believe we're here. Season 3. It was like yesterday we were talking about UFOs, the old days. Wow. We've met so many people so far.
I know. Talking about Christmas,
So many
music. It's been
That was a good
treat. Oh, the Christmas one still.
I'm still curious about
Here it
that
is.
thump Max heard on the roof.
I am
wanna know
super
what it
curious
was.
about that, man. That was wild. He was talking about the wubble wubs, and I just couldn't believe that. Yeah, he did that really. That was a
I
great
think
sound effect.
actually he was dropped off from that machine.
You don't think he heard it? You
It's
think
like
he
Mr. Bean.
just came out of it?
Yeah, him and Mr. Bean from outer space.
Well, speaking of weird things, today we're talking about The Last of Us, the video game series, the show series on HBO Max, and the
Yes.
phenomenon that has swept the nation, not once, not twice, but 3 times over, and has now just gotten a re-release of the first part of the game in what they call The Last of Us Part 1, after The Last of Us Part 2 came out. As a secondary sequel. This one now is like the same first game, but totally remastered in a new way, which I'm excited to play. Don't have it right now, but I will definitely be adding it to my list.
I gotta admit, I've never played these games.
Which is sad for you, Bucko, because Neil Druckmann definitely created one tour de force of a game loaded with, jam-packed with some of the most incredible voice work in video game history. The emotion and the
Is he
detail.
the main guy?
Neil Druckmann is the director. The main guy is Joel Miller, who in the game is played by Troy Baker, but on the show is played by one Pedro Pascal.
No idea who he is.
Which is sad for you because he is
I'm just kidding. I
one
didn't know.
Chilean heartthrob who has swept the nation.
I thought you were gonna say the same. You're kind of rehashing what you said about the game. It was one tour de force, and he is one.
Well, he is one Chilean, and he is one wild and anyways.
Is he Chilean?
Yeah.
I was kind of curious if he was Hispanic or not. Guess we figured that out now today on the Arguably Awesome. Hopefully somebody else just found this out too. We're educational, guys. We will get educational later for sure about the fungi.
Oh, absolutely. We gotta
Not
have
the Ferengi. That's Star Trek. Fungi.
Ooh, Star Trek. That's another topic for another episode.
That's a good one.
So, and then of course to wrap it up, we have to talk about America's favorite daddy right now. They just can't get enough
Bob
of this
Saget?
man. No,
Carl?
Pedro Pascal,
Winslow?
my friend. Sorry, we're not talking
Oh, I
about.
was hoping we were talking about Carl Winslow.
That's TV dad. We're talking about TV daddy. Two different
By the way,
things.
he's made a great comeback in that commercial.
Oh, sure.
Okay, so we got video game talk and game talk, how they both compare. I actually did see a video, maybe some other viewers also did see a video on the internet. I didn't watch it, but I kind of see it scrolling through where they kind of compare scenes from the first season and how it compares to the first game.
Absolutely.
What's kind of, yeah.
Game
looks
to show
interesting.
comparisons. They're pretty good because they did a lot of, shot for shot recreations on the show of iconic moments from the game. It was actually pretty impressive. Since the game director was also the same person who was working on the show, you could definitely tell it was a passion project from the person who really cared about what was being told, the story that was being told.
Yes.
Out of the mind. Genius. Neil Druckmann, if you listen to this, if you hear this, I just want you to know you're a f***ing genius. Not that you need me to tell you that.
I'm just sitting here
That dry
looking
laugh.
at my eyes through the.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just sitting here listening to you, but I'm also looking at my eyes in the sun. And I was kind of messing with my teeth like this.
You never fixed your
You guys
blinds.
tell I have ADHD? No. So they were facing down, and then I kind of angled them so they're facing up, and somehow it's still coming through because it. Whatever. Anyway, the lighting's good actually. If only that glare of the sun wasn't on me.
If only it wasn't for the glare. If only it wasn't for the glare of the sun that was on me, then I would be able to do this podcast very and quite professionally.
Yes. Yes, well said, well said. But you forgot one thing.
Oh, have I? Have I? Please enlighten me, dear boy.
Let me give you some wisdom, boy. I don't know. I don't know where I'm trying to go with this. You were saying all these cool things, and I'm like, what's anything else? Brain fart. I'll come up with something later.
Yes, I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will, Lord Sport.
By the way, do you want to show off your hair?
Oh, yeah, just, some finger, twists and stuff like that. A little bald fade, a little shape up. Nothing too serial, you know what I'm saying? It's just, get my stuff taken care of on a Saturday afternoon. Wanted to look a little less sloppy, and so I went to the beautician, and I said, "Sir, I'd like a bald fade, please." And you should have seen it. I had the pictures on Instagram. I had the whole long. I don't even know what you want to call it. Is it a frumpador? Is it just me letting my curls go wild and free? I don't know. I definitely don't think it looks anything like a tarantula. That's for sure.
I know.
Not that my co-host would agree.
When you were standing up here, it looked like it could have been a tarantula on your head, and then you turn around like, nope, it's just my hair.
Nope, it's just a what do you call it? A spaghetti monster made out of felt noodles. It is a what's his name? Justin Timberlake's hair looked like macaroni. Oh, he tried it though.
Longer.
He tried it though, but he could never. His curls would never be this tight.
I wish I could do that so I could do.
Oh yeah. You kind of got a Justin Timberlake look going on now, like when he does the close shape to the head. Yeah, look at you.
Do I look like ladies? Comment below.
Yeah, no. Yeah, that's you, buddy.
I want it that way.
Oh, wow.
Tell me what is that? That's Backstreet Boys, isn't it?
You know what? I think we're just gonna have to circle right back to what we're actually talking
anyway,
about.
we're getting off topic. This is what happens, everybody. This is what happens.
Well, I don't want to interrupt you anymore, so I just kind of let you have your moment. But eventually, after about 10 minutes of bull,
pan on my eyes.
we gotta go back.
I know. By the way, that was Backstreet Boys, so whatever. I tried to think of the song on the spot, but
Hey.
it brain fart again.
If you don't embarrass yourself once every episode, I mean, hey, then we're not doing the viewers and the listeners justice. So you just keep it up, buddy.
So, I'm gonna look seductive in this lighting. So, what?
Yeah.
What?
Go ahead.
What is The Last of Us about?
So on a surface level, on a topical level, The Last of Us is about a fungal virus, like fungal infection. It sweeps the nation. It causes kind of like, if you've ever seen that movie The Crazies with Timothy Olyphant, it's kind of like sends people into those kind of like rabid rages. And
is that where he's doing drugs or meth in that room and they tape it off and he's with this girl and they think like they're digging at their skin and stuff?
I think that might be a different experience.
Okay, that's a different wait, you said Timothy Olyphant?
Yeah, the guy from Justified from FX.
I'm thinking of that guy who has a name, sounds like a girl's name, but it's actually a guy. The Crazies. Let me see what you're talking about. Oh, it's a 2010 film. Okay.
Yeah.
After a strange and insecure plane crash, an unusual toxic virus. Oh, and they start losing their mind.
Yeah, now there's people who aren't infected and they are trying to escape the town. I'm pretty much setting you up for the first like 10 minutes / of the show and the game. By the way, people, major spoiler warnings ahead. So if you're not feeling this, you can just go ahead and you can just stop listening to this. Why are you even here?
Yeah,
You know?
by now you should have seen the show. It's your loss if you've been slow in it. So,
I mean, do I need to share some HBO Max with some of y'all out there? I'm just saying, like, you can, if you can't find it on like TV 123 or like some other like that.
Michael
It's your
Shannon.
loss, Morty.
I'm thinking of that actor, Michael Shannon.
No, yeah. But to continue the spoiler fest, The Last of Us is a tale about kind of like suffering, to be completely honest with you. People go through a lot of like serious stuff just to survive. It's about survival at all cost, sometimes no matter what it takes, and sometimes to protect, actually a lot of times to protect the people that you love. What lengths would you go to? Now that's the deeper level stuff. The surface level stuff is like a zombie apocalypse tale. In the very beginning, you have a loving father and his daughter who try to escape this horrible scenario. And I'm definitely skipping other stuff. There's more gut-wrenching stuff I'll leave out so that you can watch it. Okay. But they try to escape this scenario, and within like the first 10 minutes of the show, they kill this man's daughter. Cold blood. And he tried so hard to make sure that he could protect her, and then he just has his whole world ripped away from him. And then boom, they skip 20 years into the future where
Wait, this is The Last of Us?
This is The Last of Us.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we skip 20 years into the future where now we see a hardened Joel Miller was his name, and his brother Tommy was introduced in the first part before the time skip, but you don't see him right now. It's Joel, and he's living in some city in he's living in Boston. He's in Boston right now in some sequestered safe zone that's being protected by the feds.
Oh my God.
And so, heavily militarized. I mean, it's straight up like martial law, and people are like fighting for rations and having to do like duties to earn like currencies and shit.
Duties.
That's right, they're having to do the little duties. One of the duties that Joel Miller's doing is body burning. Yeah, that's right.
Infected?
You see a shot of him just throwing a child's body into the flames.
Wait, so are these dead bodies
they're not
just
infected, but it is
infected?
kind of like an encased thing, I'm sure. And plus they don't probably,
like in case they get back alive. Oh yeah, because it's like those dead bugs. You ever seen those bugs that are moving, that are dead, but it's like some virus that's in them that keeps them moving, like parasites?
So in this one in particular, they don't seem to necessarily be the kind of zombies. Let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah.
They don't seem to be the necessarily kind of zombies where if you shoot them anywhere or stab them somewhere other than the head, that they aren't able to be taken down. Like, you can still stab them in organs,
like their heart, major organs,
and like,
so it's realistic,
rip out their throat or something, stab them through the chin, and that will still take them out. But like, if you don't shoot them in the head, obviously they're harder to take down because
so it's realistic point to the game.
It's a little more realistic. Like you can in the game you can still shiv a zombie, and I've seen them sometimes just like do
what's
some
that
up.
movie Dawn of the Dead.
Oh yeah.
I loved that remake though.
It wasn't. Yeah, I liked that it wasn't so much of like a reanimation of the dead so much as it was a decomposition and then an altering of the brain of the host. And so it's still
it's
like a
transforming itself and like evolving.
Oh yes, exactly, which becomes a major point in the game.
Like that one that has that face that's opened up or something like that. That famous.
The clickers.
Everybody was raving about. Yeah.
Oh, or do you mean the Big Daddy? You mean the
ones that their faces are like.
Oh gosh, those guys. Not the boomers.
Like muscles or barnacles are on them or something.
Yeah, they're horrible.
I don't know.
The bloaters. They're hard to fight in the game. Like, well, I mean, later on you can kind of like piece them, but earlier, like I was getting some gnarly kill animations of the zombie just like ripping me apart.
Okay, have you uploaded these videos on your gaming channel?
A few. I was playing through The Last of Us Part 2, and I've been meaning to get some stuff uploaded. About 17 minutes in, and we still got to get to your educational moment, big boy.
Oh my
Big boy.
gosh! You can probably edit that in there somewhere.
Yeah. Edit you in there somewhere.
Maybe I'm jumping around like a little pixel 8-bit person.
Yeah, you are losing a little bit of definition in your shoulder.
Oh my god! Oh, it's over here. It's reversed on the camera.
Right.
Weird. So, you said that they get infected by some kind of fungal virus?
Yeah. So, in the game they argue, and in the show, scientists are arguing about how there is a fungal this guy theorizes that if the global warming impacts fungi across the world at a certain rate, that it could cause this like super viral infection that could cause like the end of mankind, and he's trying to say that the world's on track for it. Put a pin in that for later.
For something.
Yeah, but he was just like, hey, prepare. I think that something really wild is going to happen. And then where the show does I think a better job in the game of fleshing out is how the virus actually spreads. In the show, they show that a yeast mill in India, which is a huge supplier of majority of the bread products, yes, has a lot to do with mushrooms and fungi. As far as I want to say it's the what is the process?
Main antagonist of
it causes the reaction. It's the live cultures, right? The bacterial cultures that cause the reactions in the bread, the yeast to make the bread. I believe that is what caused the major contaminant that spread across the world. They call in this special doctor in the show to try and get abreast of the situation. And once she understands exactly what they're dealing with after running some tests on a few samples of the virus, she realizes that the world is pretty much like he's like, I want to go and spend what little time I have left with my family.
Oh, there's also, is that the Asian woman?
No, Indian. No.
I think in that show I also saw there was a part that takes place in Indonesia.
There is, I want to say that's where they show like a infection case.
Yeah, there is a case there, and she's like, she doesn't want to acknowledge it, so she says, just burn it all. And she's like, just kill everything in that area. And I only recognize that because,
Oh, right, they flew the doctor to Indonesia. I am so sorry. Yeah.
Because I've been there, and I was like, wow, Indonesia's been in films.
Yeah, she told him to strike the place.
Yeah, strike it.
So sad.
Burn it all. So should I tell these people about fungus?
Well, I'm not quite there yet. That's why you gotta let me stay on track, Daddy-o.
We're getting very sidetracked, everybody.
Hey, you're okay. I'll try to make it quick. Basically, Joel Miller, hard toughened guy, lost his daughter. He gets charged by a separate group called the Fireflies, which has been branded as like a terrorist group, but they're more of a resistance group to the federal group, to try and smuggle this girl named Ellie to a safe zone where they hope to be able to use her to create a cure because she shows signs of being immune to the virus.
That's why he's with her. He has to protect her.
Yes, and so he goes on this whole journey across multiple states, across seasons, and learns to bond with this girl after going through a lot of life-changing and almost life-ending events. The first episode really good at setting up the tone and really shows you just how close to the game they were trying to be, with only slight differences in the pacing elements and certain things to the show. I thought one of the major ones being there's a scene in episode I want to say 2 or 3 where a major character is about to lose her life. She has finally learned to believe in the cause of getting Ellie to this safe zone to make the cure. They go to this hotel to meet with some fireflies, and then it turns out they're all dead. Oh no. Now, where it deviates from the game is that the character's name is Tess. Tess has been bitten at this point. She's gonna die. The reason why
Is she the girl that she's best friends with?
No, that's
Okay.
Riley, and we'll get to that. So Tess, she gets bitten. She's Joel's friend, Joel's partner, Joel's something. You know, they have this connection. They work together. They feel,
great.
you know.
Of course.
And so she's bitten. She tells Joel that this mission is for real because her bite in 2 hours has gotten much worse than Ellie's bite, which Ellie's had for like 3 weeks at this point and hasn't gotten any more infected. And so she's like, this is the real shit. This girl's really immune. You need to get her where we need to get her. If you feel something for me, because I'm about to die right now, then you would do something about this. So she sends him on his way as more infected go to and swarm them. And in the game, it's the federal units coming in on them and you know, killing Tess as she tries to create a diversion so that Joel and Ellie can escape. In the game, in the show, the infected come. And one of the parts that I'm talking about being a deviation is the infected. They try to show that if you don't resist and try to like kill them, because she was infected, it somehow draws them together, connects them or in some way. I'm probably not explaining it correctly, but they share a kiss, and the zombie kind of grows this like the weird fungal thing out of its mouth instead of like a tongue. And I was just like, ooh. I was like, boy, that's nasty.
Me of last night.
That was nasty. I was like, gross. What the is that?
Reminds me of the Faculty, where that guy who played the T-1000 puts his tongue in that woman's ear and infects her. Oh,
it was kind of like that.
Nightmare
and the woman
fuel.
just kind of sits there taking the kiss for a minute, Tess there, and I was just like, what is happening? And then she sacrifices herself. And I was just like, oh, that's what a deviation, but it was still sad. Oh, episode 3 is where you meet Bill, and Bill, played by the wonderful Nick Offerman, and assisted on the episode by Murray Bartlett, who plays Frank, a person who he ends up partnering with in the game. Now, the major deviation here is that you meet Bill in the game. You and Ellie meet Bill and go through his city, and he helps you to pass through so that you can cross states, you know, in a car a lot quicker. In the show, we meet Bill and don't realize until later that it's in mostly flashback, post-mortem. And the way that they told it was so different from the game. They definitely fleshed out a major backstory, which a lot of these backstories are just notes that you read in the game. But then in the show, they do such a good job fleshing out these moments. And man, I tell you, when my face was sopping wet with tears, I mean that. I mean that wholeheartedly. That show broke me. And not even just once, but on multiple occasions.
Oh, really? Yeah, I heard it was kind of sad.
The game itself is sad. Like, the game itself has made me cry multiple times.
How many games have made you cry in your lifetime?
Oh, I mean, a good handful, don't get me wrong. But The Last of Us is like top. If not, like, you know.
Kingdom Hearts had me at the end of the first game.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
First game never make me tear up.
Absolutely. Kingdom Hearts 2, even, I'd still treasure that one. But man, the work that this team put into like the motion capture and the voices, I mean, and what's cool about the show is that they take a lot of the voice actors from the game and they have them feature in certain roles on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Like Troy Baker plays David, not David, David's side guy. Gosh, I cannot remember his name right now, but basically these two guys who, you know, are kind of like running this encampment of survivors. Troy Baker plays the second in command, and I gotta say, it was nice to have these cool moments where these characters and these voices were like kind of like gliding in this world. Everybody does such a phenomenal job, just like bringing these characters to life. And the backdrops are so well done. It looks like you're looking at stills from the game, just looking at the show. The way that they end the show is very faithful to the game as well, almost like shot for shot. A lot of stuff is shot for shot. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't spoil the end. Maybe that'll be enough to hook people into watching the show. Maybe I'll just leave you there. But yeah, there's a few deviations to major events. They still happen, but some of them happen in different ways. Some of the things that you would expect them to include don't include, but I think it's for pacing's sake for the show.
Yeah.
But the team did a really well job. I mean, they shot a scene with the real live giraffe, you know what I mean? They put a lot of effort into the series. The episode with Henry and his brother Sam made me cry super hard. Super hard.
Really?
Absolutely. They had changed that character as well. The younger brother, he is now deaf in the episode and he does sign. I know that I didn't mean to do that. That probably seems a little ignorant, but I didn't know how else to, represent ASL. I don't really know any real ASL.
Don't even tempt me, man.
No, I know.
It was really hard. I'm struggling.
But basically, my point is
we're old school guys, so forgive us if we're a little ignorant.
Yeah, the things
we all do respect. We do care, and we do have respect for others.
But what I was trying to say is the things that they have changed and deviated on the show for the show's sake have been tasteful and well done, and okay. I really enjoyed it a lot. And it even drew in someone who has no background with the game, like my lady Emily. She didn't play the game, never kind of saw me play it, over the shoulder, but never really had that much of an interest. But she really liked the show. I mean, Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey have done a really great job lending their talents to bringing these characters to life. Like I said, Nick Offerman did an amazing job. I didn't realize about how much I would care for Frank's character until they really fleshed him out as well. I did not realize that was Storm Reed who was playing Riley Abel, and I really enjoyed that a lot. Like the cast of characters.
Where have you seen her before? Because I don't recognize any of these people except Pedro Pascal.
Really?
But I haven't seen. I don't have access to the show because I don't have, what is it, HBO?
Right. So Riley Reed was.
I mean, I can watch it elsewhere, but.
Yes. Would you like me to answer your question, sir?
Yes.
Riley Reed was in the Disney I don't want to say remake, but kind of A Wrinkle in Time. The one that had like Oprah and everybody in there.
Yeah.
She's the main character, the little girl in the glasses there.
Oh,
she was also in Euphoria at one point, and I never saw the Suicide Squad movie in 2021, but I guess she's in there as well.
Really?
Yeah. And then there's a new movie that came out not too long ago called Missing.
I want to see Euphoria, by the way.
I hear it's really good. I never really made that sync, that time sync.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's a lot of me talking about the show and the game. As you can tell, I could talk about the show for ages. I really loved what they did with that media and that medium and taking the show and just like wringing out the best parts of what made that game so incredible and what made it so thought-provoking to people back in that time. And I mean that's pretty much all I got to say about it for now. At this point, I do believe that it's time for an educational moment. Doodaloo, doodaloo, doodaloo.
Let's see, fungi. I wanted to see if I could find a crazy picture.
You're not gonna find one, kid. You're not gonna find a crazy picture, kid. I mean, really, you might as well just go ahead and give up. Just give it right up.
Okay. Let's see. Let me hold this up to my, I'm gonna give it head. Okay.
Oh boy.
All right. So about fungi today on Learning with a Card.
Hey, there we go. I like that. Are we? Oh, that's the part where there's supposed to be music.
I did that with my first episode of Dissecting Cinema with a Key. I don't know if you watched that yet. There was a part where I was trying to teach her English, and I'm like, okay, today on Learning English with Anthony, and then it shows an intro with dude.
Hey, I love that. It was cute.
You should totally edit that in there. You should do that.
Yeah, send me your intro, buddy.
Oh no, I was gonna say if you could find one.
No,
but if not, I can try to send it. I can edit mine and
no,
send it
you
to
have it, don't you?
I threw it away after.
Why? Is it?
I usually delete shit I don't use again.
You weren't planning on making that a thing? Oh, you should have made it a reoccurring bit.
You know what? I did think about that, and you know, of course, me and ADD, whoop, goes out the door. But I think I can edit that. Let's see. I'll check it later.
You know how to
I'll try
rip stuff.
send it to you.
Yeah.
Let's see. So according to so we're using a source from shortform.com. I don't know what that site is. It just looked like it was a good read because I'm very picky on the links that at least explain what I'm looking for to present it to you, the listening audience or viewing audience, if you're watching this on YouTube or listening to it on some podcast streaming platform. So according to Merlin Sheldrake, the book Entangled Life. Fungi are known for their kingdom of organisms. They are neither plants nor animals, although the field of mycology, the study of fungi, is growing. Sheldrake argues that many aspects of fungal biology remain a mystery. That is true. I think the coolest fungi are the ones that grow on the trees or some kind of life, and it looks like little stairs like in that fungal planet in Attack of the Clones.
Can't remember the name of it right now.
I cannot remember the name of it either. I wish I could look it up, but you know, I don't want to waste time looking things. I'm gonna be doing that all day.
Yeah.
But y'all know, if you know Star Wars, you know what fungal planet I'm talking about. It has the weird fungal aliens that live on it. It's like that. Fungus is actually kind of cool. So if there's any truffle hunters out there, keep on truffing, because I follow some of those on Instagram. I'm just interested about that as I get older. So, the fungal biology. According to Sheldrake, fungi are understudied for two main reasons. First, we have fungi who are hard to access because many of them live underground. Okay, I didn't know that. Second, the study of fungi requires various types of biologists to collaborate, since fungi's lives are deeply intertwined with those of other organisms. But it's rare for biologists to collaborate with researchers outside of their subfield, such as microbiology. Well, see, why is it so simple to put two and two together when they don't? We could get a lot of things done in the world if people could just work unethically, which would actually be ethical. Go figure. We're just regular schmoes here.
You just a philosophizer.
We're old hokies. We're an old hokey. So
speak for yourself.
I am older. But not by much, guys. Everybody, you better admit that we're not by much. We're both old. I mean, come on, we both watch Goof Troop on Nickelodeon.
You're as old as you feel you are, and I feel pretty damn young. I know these bags probably fool you, but some person just told me the other day they thought I look 25, and you know what? Even though he's probably lying a little, I'll take it.
I get that too. We both get that. We look 25 at least, at minimum.
Yeah.
25.
I'm chewing on my kitty. Oh.
You chewing on what? Your kitty?
No, I didn't think about how that sounded before I said it.
Woo! It's getting late. Not really, but
no, I got
back to the fungi. We're gonna have to put like a little static screen to get us back to where we were. So property 1, we have organization. Property 2, we have growth. Property 3, we have response to stimuli. And property 4, reproduction. Now, there is more: energy processing, homeostasis, and that's it. So I'm going to read briefly about all 6. And then we're going to get into the dark part, how it relates to The Last of Us. Resident Evil 5.
Oh, Resident Evil 5 was a pretty decent game. I mean, I'm not going to say I didn't enjoy it.
My friend's obsessed with it. Don't even get me started. Oh my God.
When he's fighting his way through Africa.
Oh God. Could that game be racist? It's all white main characters.
I don't think it's
That's
racist.
A story for another day, guys.
I mean, it definitely doesn't scream black power, but I think, it's like...
It was 2009. Okay, so priority 1, organization. All living things have internal organization structures such as cells, roots, and organisms that organize their matter. Sheldrake explains that the cell is the main structure of unicellular fungi such as yeast, which Airflow did mention there was a yeast plant, right, in India?
That's right. Or well, I mean, I guess I don't know. I feel like you told me it was Indonesia now, so I just...
Oh, I was relating because I thought it was related to Indonesia, but then you said India, but I was like, there was also a part where there was Indonesia in there, so I was like, all right. However, most fungi are multicellular organisms whose cells form larger structures. Oh my god! Property 2, growth. All organisms grow cells larger in structure according to genetic instructions. We'll begin this section by examining the overall process of fungal growth. So fungal growth.
So fungal growth. Tell me more about it.
By building layers of cells like a 3D printer. Some organisms grow using an approach that resembles fungi's lengthening approach. We've seen that. We've all seen our fungi lengthen. And other organisms, layering approach. Oh, that's like the ones on the trees I was talking about, because it kind of goes by layers. You can see like it kind of goes upwards and it platforms out.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So there's two types of fungal growth, branching and merging. I'm not going to go into detail about that. If you're really curious about that, you can, but we really want to get to the main point of how it evolves. So its response to stimuli that could be related to this. So expansion and investigation. As a mycelium radiates from its pores, its many hyphal tips sense stimuli it encounters. Now then there's directional growth. When a fungus hyphae sense a desirable, man, I'm really saying these names right so far. This is not easy. Such as a nutrient source, its mycelium continues branching and merging into hyphae to surround that source. I don't know what the I'm reading. I'm just reading.
You're so funny.
I think I'm getting
I don't know what I'm reading. Wow. What kind of mushrooms are you eating?
What? Oh, God, maybe I should. Maybe I'd understand it. So, property 4, reproduction. Oh, now we're getting into that.
Yeah.
Reproduction.
The sexy details.
All life forms reproduce by replicating their DNA and passing it into the mouth of passing it into the next generation.
Yes, that's one way of putting it.
We'll begin this section by outlining the multicellular fungi's typical process of reproduction.
Multicellular even. I love it. Tell me more.
There's attraction, there's sex, there's spore dispersal. Ooh, sounds naughty. We might need to censor this.
Spore dispersal. We see a lot of that in the game and the show.
So this actually might be interesting to explain how the fungal reproduces.
Yes.
It could be to how they could infect others. I don't know.
Who wouldn't want to talk more in depth about this, man? Come on. This is the stuff. This is the juicy details.
Juicy.
Yeah.
So, fungi release their pheromones, a chemical signal, if you didn't know, to attract mates. So, what kind of mates are they attracting? These sex pheromones can also induce the creation of fungal sex organs, specialized hyphae that produce, oh man, here's a word I can't say, gametes, gametes, G-A-M-E-T-E-S, the equivalent of sperms and eggs.
Why don't you share your screen a little there, big boy?
Oh, you want me to share my screen?
Why don't you share your screen? Come on.
Okay, let me just close these other windows that I have open.
Close your porn tab so you can open up the screen.
Oh!
Good. Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Fungal reproduction.
Yes. So, let's see. So the sex part, we're on step 2 of fungal reproduction. Sex. So I've actually seen mushrooms that do look sexual. Especially that one guy who's one that's like oval, like I'm not watching those videos purposely, everyone. Yeah. God. After attraction, two fungal starting having sex when a hypha from one mycelium fuses the hypha of another. So is this talking about like, we might have to watch a video, guys, and just embed the video for like 5 seconds. Is this like when mushrooms fuse together?
I think so, because it says right here, their genetic material meets and combines in this fused channel. In
I
short
could have just read
form.
one more sentence. I would have known what I wanted to.
It's a
It's
short
always me.
form. We usually think of sex as something that happens between genetically different individuals. Oh no, they're talking about mushroom incest.
Oh God. Hey, you know what? I guess it really doesn't matter because they're unisex, right?
Mhm.
That's what matter. Oh, okay, so we got the gist of that, and then spore dispersal after sex.
No, whoa.
Whew.
Hold on a second. Some
Oh no, you
clone
found something
themselves.
else?
No, yeah, some clone themselves, have sex with their clones, and still manage to create new genetic material from their offspring. Holy sh! What kind
This
of
is like saying
sick
cancer
game?
can be in trees.
What
Oh
kind
my
of
gosh.
sick game are mushrooms playing at? Wow.
This is actually taking an interesting turn, people. This might be the big part of the whole podcast episode.
Now we're having sex with clones.
We need to put this in the title for sure. Fungal sex. The Last of Us and fungal sex.
Ooh.
Episode 1, season 3.
Oh, hey, we got to get the thumbnail shot later.
Oh God. Oh, maybe we should use an AI generator like PK's using for his thumbnails. God, we can only imagine. Okay, so
wow.
after sex, one of the fungal grows flesh that develops into pores. Did you read this part? Part step 3?
No, that's all you, buddy.
Okay.
That's all you.
Cells containing the new genetic material. So it fleshes that develops into spores. Wow, this is, man, I didn't know fungals, man, no wonder it's so dangerous, especially those deadly ones. This fungus disperses those spores. Although not all fungi use mushrooms for this step, Sheldrake focuses on describing several of the ways mushrooms spread spores. Man, this guy, I don't know what year this was he did this research, but this Sheldrake dude is crazy.
I know, because check this man. You've got an explosive ejection.
Yeah.
You've got animal consumption, and then you've got invasive invasion as far as like the last type of reproduction. I mean, do you want to like go into detail, teach?
Oh, this one, well, I just noticed this. We're gonna skip 3 dots ahead. Infects an ant and manipulate it. That's just like those bugs who get manipulated by parasites, which are already dead, making them alive. But then, yeah, like the ants, it makes them kill something, right? Like it makes them crazy and kill their own.
The zombie ant fungus, and then the
fungus. My burst from the ant's head. That sounds like
The Last of Us. Yeah, I can't hear you either. Sounds like
I
you
know.
just
I
lost.
didn't want to say that. When it burst from the head, I was thinking of myself.
Oh my gosh, you talking about pee-pee?
I mean, when you look at the editing, when you're in post, man, you'll notice all these little things I'm doing during the video.
He's talking about pee-pee.
You'll be like, what the hell? I don't remember him doing that.
Such a child.
We'll go back to dot 1. Explosive ejection.
And it's another one that you should
Some mushrooms eject spores into the air at high speeds. I swear I've seen this before. Have you seen this too, where it's like slow motion on the video?
Yeah.
On like the internet, it shows like
It's like a high-speed
going out.
sneeze.
Yeah. Many of these mushrooms are able to achieve high speeds because they use Viagra. Oh,
Well,
fluid-filled tubes that shoot out spores like a water. There's so many opportunities.
yeah, like
here.
a vast deference.
Man, that was a high-speed ejection, man.
Hey, look, it doesn't happen to me very often, you know what I'm saying? It's just one of the one-time things.
That fungal time of the year, you know?
It's been a long...
Fungi.
Been a cold winter.
You know, they call me a fungi because I'm fun, you know?
Been hibernating a little bit.
Hibernating a little bit. Yeah.
I'm evolving to do better in lower temperatures, you know what I'm saying?
Fung you.
You can see on the beach.
Fung you instead of you. Fung you. How long has this educational piece been? Maybe we should get to the...
Well, I talked for half an hour, and now it's been about 17 minutes, so you're doing all right there.
It's only been 17 minutes? Holy I'm going slow.
Yeah, you could talk about educational moments forever, I'm sure.
So here we go. Energy processing. All organisms require energy to fuel their growth and protection processes. I really tried to make it sound like I'm reading fast. Sheldrake explains that fungi, like humans and other animals, are
Are you doing all right there? All right.
Man,
Like humans and other
I
animals.
haven't fallen forward since season 1. Holy sh!
No, you fell forward during the Camp Crush episode. Yeah.
Okay, but not in this chair. I was on a bed. That's the sad part.
You poor.
Wow, guys, don't get these
unfortunate
camp
soul.
chairs. I'm still using my camping chair. I like this one. It's easy. Okay. They acquire energy by eating other organisms. However, unlike humans and other animals, fungi digest food outside their bodies by absorbing nutrients through their mycelia. So that could be like bugs or just nature.
I like that. However, unlike humans and other animals, fungi digest food outside their bodies by absorbing nutrients. I love how that line there tells you just how nefarious the fungi truly is. And you should never turn your back on a mushroom. I wouldn't want to run up against a mushroom like that in a back alley. Sheldrake is smart, man. Really studying those
He is.
different strategies that fungi use to, spread themselves across the world.
So this might be an interesting related to the show. Not all that. The first paragraph. The last property of fungi is that they have a strategy for maintaining homeostasis, a stable internal state, amidst changing environmental conditions such as drops in temperature. Otherwise, organisms wouldn't be able to maintain their structure, grow, respond to stimuli, reproduce, and process energy. So somehow they're adapting in The Last of Us.
That's right. Because they can't survive in the human body due to the higher temperature that we run at. It's not sustainable. But they're evolving due to the global warming in the environment to be able to survive.
And you too can watch more about fungi on American Top 40 with your host, what was that guy's name who died about 10 years ago?
Almost.
Casey Kasem.
Casey Kasem's dead?
Oh yeah, he died maybe 2014 or 15. He had Alzheimer's or something, dementia.
Oh, that's sad.
Passed away shortly after being lost for about a month.
That's sad.
He was lost for a month. He wandered off somewhere and they couldn't find him for almost a month.
Wow.
Then he died shortly after they found him.
Rest in peace.
Casey Kasem, one of the great American DJs. And he was also the voice of a cartoon character.
Yes, quite a few.
I forgot. Anyway, you guys look it up. There's the internet, right? So, now getting to where the zombie fungus from The Last of Us is real, but not as nearly as deadly. So, let me tell you about that.
Please.
So, in the video game and the HBO show, The Last of Us humans struggle to survive after an infectional fungus. Oh, I'm coughing in the mic. Just like that cough. The infectious fungus turns ordinary people into zombies. But how? So, Ophiocordyceps unilateralis.
Oh, the Latin name is out of control on that one.
Wow. Let me try again. Ophiocordyceps unilateralis. There, I said it better the second time. Otherwise known as cordyceps. I hate these words. Cordyceps. Or zombie ant fungus.
Is it cordyceps?
This is the one. Cordyceps. There we go. I'm really enunciating the wrong way with these words. Cordyceps. Cordyceps. So
Gefilte fish.
Gefilte fish. So cordyceps, or the zombie ant fungus, which we read about in our last article by short forms. I already forgot the website.
Yeah, short forms. Yeah.
This one's from npr.org. So the zombie ant fungus, it was like it takes control and it bursts the head off. Infects insects such as ants and spiders. Like other parasites, cordyceps drains its host completely of nutrients before filling its body with spores that will let the fungus reproduce. Oh, damn, it's like it's using a host body. Oh, how odd, but ironic. and then compels the insect to seek height and remain there before it expels their spores, infecting their nearby insects in the process. Brian Dettinger, a biologist professor at the University of Utah and curator of mycology at the Natural History Museum of Utah, told NPR that fungus is one of the most and best known and probably most commonly encountered kinds of organisms with this mind control capability. Oh my god. And he has said that scientists aren't entirely sure how cordyceps is able to have the effect that it does on insects, although there are theories. There seems to be, well, they sure aren't looking to, what's that, Sheldrakes. They need to read his notes.
And talking about some theories, like, yeah, somebody's already been there, done that.
They don't know. He seemed to know. There seems to be some combination. Oh, I need to have a voice now because this is the guy. There seems to be some kind of combination of physical manipulation of muscle fibers, for example, possible growth into the brain itself, that can impact the behavior, he said. But there's also very likely some sort of chemical attack on the host. Either small molecules or proteins, or some other things that end up manipulating the brain's behavior. And I don't know if they're British in Utah, but they should be.
I gotta say, I like the voice, man. Yeah, that's good.
So our body's temperatures are high enough that most organisms, their proteins would denature at that temperature, and also they can't survive in their bodies, he said. Let's get down to the main part of it.
The nitty gritty.
So, and is it possible that fungus with similar mind control capabilities could at some point be able to withstand a human's body temperature? That may be one reason why we're seeing more fungal infections in humans, in human humans. I think they had a typo. But again, to date, none of them are cordyceps, he said. However, maybe that will happen in the future, but at the moment, it is not a possibility. And as Denninger, there you already have it. Species of fungus that alter a human's mental processing, such as psilocybin, otherwise known as magic mushrooms. Meanwhile, other kinds of fungus are already ubiquitous in human life. Take yeast, for example, which is found in bread and in the human gut. Oh, we have yeast in our gut?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that weird? We have parts of nature in us when we're born.
I think that's why science tries so hard to like recreate this, that, and the other. It's because they like see there are certain parts in our bodies that like can recreate these
That's crazy.
chemicals and these different properties, and they're like, oh, that would be really useful to have that like in drug form or like you know, something like that. It's fascinating. We are mysterious and incredible and, you know, altogether useless at the same time.
I would like to think we are.
But wow, so you're telling me that it's speculated that something like that could be possible, but at this current juncture in time, it's not, as far as like something close to The Last of Us happening.
No, not even close. A zombie apocalypse in reality has been talked about for years.
Yeah. Everybody, I feel like everybody just like wants it at this point, like a complete breakdown of society and like, you know, social structure. But it ain't happening via mushrooms, I tell you that. So you might as well just eat the ones that get you high, go on a nice little trip, have a nice dream about it. You know what I'm saying? If that's what gets you jollies. You know,
that gets you jollies.
What gets my jollies is talking about that dang Pedro Pascal. Have you heard that some people call him Daddy? And
I
the
know,
actress Sarah
I
Paulson.
saw a video.
No. And the actress Sarah Paulson, they call her mommy, number one mommy.
What the fuck? Really?
Yeah. Well, they're like best friends. They've known each other since they were 18, I guess.
Wait, the little girl?
No, Pedro Pascal and Sarah Paulson.
Sarah. I'm sorry, I don't know who Sarah Paulson is. The actress, I'm guessing.
Oh wow,
partner.
gosh, wow. I mean, I don't think she's his partner, but wow. I'm gonna have to pull her up for you, and I feel like you're gonna go, oh yeah.
Yes, please.
Well, yeah, let me go ahead and present you a little something real quick. Share this screen a Rooney for you. Bam. So this is the Sarah Paulson, if you can see here, famous actress. You know, she's been in Ocean's 8. Just this one of the first ones that came up. I really recognize her more so from American Horror Story. You know, American Crime Story was a good one. I forgot she was in Bird Box. Wow. She was great in Glass. She was the I want to say the psychiatrist in Glass, where she was breaking down the psyche of the superhero and the supervillains.
Okay.
Oh, of course, and What Women Want. Yeah. Of course.
Wait, let me see a picture of her up close again. She's the was she the daughter in that movie?
Sarah Paulson?
In What Women Want?
I mean, I guess it was a while.
Oh no. Oh,
I don't think so.
yeah, she was in Bird Box. Okay, she was also a
Wow.
in a movie. She was in a movie. She played a real mean in a movie before she was in Bird Box. That's why I recognize her, and I'm forgetting what that movie was.
Well, I will not listen to you talk about Sarah Paulson that way. So,
but anyway, she plays a real good mean person. Let's just put it that way. She's great.
She can play nice sometimes.
Yes, she
Once in a
can.
while.
Sometimes, not all the time.
Give me a break. Wow. You'd seen her in American Horror Story playing someone. She was in the American Horror Story Coven, and then American Horror Story Apocalypse. I want to say those are really good.
Mm-hmm.
But she's also been. I want to say just like Kathy Bates' character, they can just keep bringing her back in other roles. But anyways, Mr. Pedro Pascal, credited as Alexander Pascal, one of his earliest television roles was a one-off appearance on NYPD Blue as goth kid Shane Dio Morrissey, season 8, episode 9, Oh Golly Goth. And it's quite an interesting scene where he's like speaking in fake Latin tongues and like licking a pentagram he drew on his hand in Sharpie and all sorts of crazy shit. But I mean, I thought watching the scene online, but it was great. I follow this Instagram channel that shows a lot of videos of him in some of his earlier roles when he was like just starting, like ads for computer programs and email accounts and or whatever. Like which is pretty cool. I mean, he's been acting for quite some time and is catching a lot of fame now. I mean, I won't say now. He was on HBO's Game of Thrones as a bisexual prince at that. I mean, how cool is that? He's giving a little something for everybody.
He's great. He's just everywhere. Because I remember the first time I personally saw him on the big screen was in the Golden Circle of Kingsman sequel.
Yeah. No, he's great.
Cowboy with a whip.
I need to see the unbearable weight of what is it? The unbearable weight of incredible talent, or the one with him and Nicolas Cage. I need to see that movie.
I want to see that movie and I haven't yet.
The unbearable weight of massive talent. There we go. Yeah. Need to see.
Nicolas Cage has been hitting it since he was in Mandy in 2018. He's been hitting it in weird ass movies that are good.
Yeah. I would say that. Absolutely.
Especially one of my favorite Japanese writers and directors just had him in a Ghost of the Wasteland.
Back
a few years ago,
see that.
1 year ago.
Yeah.
That director makes some weird movies, and I love them.
I see all these stills and all these clips from the movie, and I'm just like, I really need to see that. It looks hilarious. I mean, I love Nicolas Cage personally. I think he's hilarious. I just watched Face Off the other week, man. I love Face Off. Hilarious.
I love that movie.
I'm going to take his face off.
I'm gonna take his face off.
No, what was the point though? The point was that Nicolas Cage and Pedro Pascal are amazing together, and Pedro Pascal in general has just taken the internet and the world by storm. And at this point, I don't know if he can do any wrong. He is going to be in a new movie with Ethan Hawke. I want to say it's called A Strange Life. If I'm getting that right. It looks like some sort of dark comedy western. I I'm super into it. I'll have to check that out. And then I thought I saw he was in something else. I know a lot of the stuff I've been seeing lately has been like fashion shoots, the Saturday Night Live skits, and then some ads for Merge Mansion, the Merge 3 game on your phone. He's been doing ads for them, and man, those have been actually pretty funny. I don't know what this game company is throwing at people to get them to get behind the marketing for this game. They're pulling some big names, and man, the content's actually pretty good.
I need to play because I don't know what to ask about. I need to check out the trailer.
Merge Mansion. It's like I said, it's a mobile phone match 3, Merge 3 game.
Oh, mobile phone. Unfortunately, I don't play a lot of mobile phone games.
That's okay. The ads keep popping up on my Facebook, but they're good. They're good. I'm in a group for shitty mobile game ads, but I wouldn't say that Page House was shitty. I'd say that it just tracks because I watch game ads all the time.
Yeah.
So,
what is
tell me.
Is there a Last of Us mobile game?
I'm sure if they could find a way to actually, you know what? No, I feel like Neil Druckmann cares enough about his property that he wouldn't go for porting it to the mobile unless it truly was going to be something similar to the same experience. But at that point, you might as well just get like a Jawbone backing, like controller backing for your phone, and stream your PlayStation 2 phone via remote access and just play it that way if you're going to do all that.
Have you? So, looking at hearing you talk about, and me before we were talking about it, seeing The Last of Us and the hype about it right now, and the game, it seems like, even seeing that side-by-side comparison of the show and the game, it seems like this is the first time a TV show adapted from a game, right? Am I saying that right?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
A game adapted into a TV show, we'll say it that way, has pleased the audience this much and got it to where it's based off the game this time, unlike the original Mario Brothers movies, which I still like the original one. But how does it compare to the video game Mario Brothers? But you know what, we can't put it up against that because that's its own story based off of everything of Mario, so they did a good job there too. But back to what I said, they did a great tribute to the game with the show.
Absolutely, I would say that they did a great tribute to the show. You had a lot of the creative team, like I've been saying over and over again because I can't stress enough how awesome they are. From the Naughty Dog studio, from the Santa Monica, studios.
Naughty Dog's still around?
You're kidding, right?
I thought Naughty Dog disbanded years ago. Because all I know, they did Crash Bandicoot.
You're kidding, right?
I did not know Naughty Dog was still around.
Have you not heard of Uncharted?
Yes.
Naughty Dog.
Didn't know that. Well, I don't play Uncharted.
Have you not heard of The Last of Us? That's Naughty Dog.
That's
The Last of Us video game that we're talking about right now. The Last of Us TV.
We're talking about Naughty Dog?
Naughty Dog made it.
I'm trying to lie here and I'm mixing my up now. Actually, I didn't know Naughty Dog was still around. I don't play these games, so I wouldn't see the logo. Wow. I'm glad Naughty Dog's still around.
Naughty Dog is one of the top pinnacles of AAA game makers in the industry right now.
Wow.
Weren't
they gone for a while?
You're bugging. I don't even know what to say to you.
They were doing bad for a while after Crash Bandicoot failed.
What the hell are you talking about? In fact, they made new Crash Bandicoots that have been kicking ass. I
know. I got the new one, number 4. I bought it when it came out.
What's with your hate for Naughty Dog right now?
I love Naughty Dog.
You disrespectful butthole.
Neversoft, I think I'm thinking of. Neversoft is not around
anymore.
anymore.
The people that made the Tony Hawk games.
Rest in peace, Legendary Games. Legendary. We got to
talking about Naughty Dog. You don't even know your game production studios.
Look forward to that, guys. Tony Hawk video game only podcast episode coming at some point.
It's okay. You don't have to know that Naughty Dog's still a thing. I just think that basically the creative team still having a majorly with the television show has been majorly majorly important, especially since they already pretty much had a hand in shooting it like a show or like a movie the first time, because they did full body motion capture for a lot of stuff. So I think it just better prepared them to be able to do this kind of production anyways. And the leaps and bounds in the technology that has been made over the last few years has only better made it easier for them since the original game's release in like 2012, I want to say. Just that much better.
How many games are there?
So
there's 3.
There's technically 3. The first Last of Us Part 2, and then they re-released the first game as The Last of Us Part 1 with better graphics, enhanced game mechanics, and more.
Basically 2 in the storyline.
Yeah.
When did it come out? 2010? 12? 9?
12.
Okay, so it's been about 11 years since the original. So are they working on a new Last of Us Part 3?
I would hope so, because Part 2 does leave the opportunity for them to do another game. I won't give any spoilers about that one, because season 2, by the time we release this episode, will probably be just like not even that far away. So, you know, I won't give it too many spoilers there, but I do feel like there's plenty of opportunity for him to do a Part 3. And I can't wait to see season 2 of The Last of Us, to see what they do with the characters and with the story there. Because if the themes and the undertones in the first game were heavy, the themes and the undertones in the second game are just as heavy, if not darker. And I feel like they really take you through like the tortured human soul, and again, what it is that you will do for those that you love, and how far you will push yourself to seek justice.
So yes, those are true words. What would you do? What would you do
if somebody that I cared about was ripped away from me? Like how Joel had like lost his daughter, or like, you know, how Joel had like lost so many people along the way. I don't know, I'd probably go, you know, especially in that kind of world where, like, what else better do you have to do besides go on a mission and go kill somebody?
Yeah.
Or like,
you kind of relate to the games that you choose to play.
Well, it's not like I personally like seek vengeance or anything like that. Like,
no, just like an emotional connection.
But like the emotional connection, they definitely draw you into the emotions of, like, you know, losing someone you care about, or like, you know, you go on the journey in the game of learning to care about Ellie as well, and you can unlock further conversations by finding certain items, or just like stopping and waiting for her to talk to you. You know, you can learn to bridge this gap between these two personalities, between Joel and Ellie, and they really start to care for each other like a father and a daughter. And in some ways it kind of heals Joel, but it kind of scares him as well. And I hate that I have to go back now to talking about this show, but Pedro Pascal does such a very good job of walking that line between Joel's more vicious and brutal side and Joel's more vulnerable and you know, traumatized side from the event of losing his daughter in this way. Nobody was prepared for this kind of pandemic, like epidemic level event, and the way that he lost everything that he knows and cared for and loved in this world in that way changed him to his core. But then watching him go through the relationship of opening his heart up to somebody else, and then worrying that something that he's going to do is going to lead to this person's death, rattles him. In the way that he shows that versus how the game portrayed it, I think was really humanizing in a way that the show needed to show Joel. And it still made him like a man. He's still a man's man. He's still a badass. He still gets done. But then at the same time, he's not afraid to, after a certain point, like, show that
his vulnerable side.
Yeah, that he needs this relationship, that he needs Ellie by his side. You know,
that's poetic.
Yeah. And that's why a lot of this stuff like leaves tears, because like whenever they come up against people, you understand the whole like it's us versus them mentality, and it's not even in a serious, it's not even in a bad way. It's just how it has to be because of the world that they exist in.
Wow. I guess that means I have to watch the show now.
Oh, you really should, man. It is a
I can
humdinger
find a
about now.
way.
It's a
A
humdinger.
humdinger of a hoedown.
Humdinger,
Pedro
humdinger.
Pascal.
Man.
Well, and if you guys haven't watched it, you guys should watch it. And if you're gamers, play the game first, then watch the show, compare.
And if you already know, then hopefully that was a sufficient enough little synopsis for you. If you have any other things that you want to talk to me personally about, or A-Card, feel free to hit us up at our Instagrams at arguably Eric or at A-Card. There, you know, you can find us, you can DM.
Yes.
All that cool
You
shit.
can find us on all of our links are connected on our YouTube channel. You know, where the links are shown in the about area. You can see where all of our follower social medias are.
All that cool
That's
stuff.
where we are. Yeah. And our other channels, whatnot, if you're into having other types of fun.
Well, I don't know about you, brother, but I feel like it's about time for the arguably awesome recap, where we summarize pretty much what everybody heard.
Yeah.
And a little bit of a Reddit styled too long didn't read. We're just gonna go ahead and reset your brain and, you know, kind of bring the topics back to the forefront.
Hit it. Ha.
First thing we talked about was Last of Us, the TV show, and The Last of Us, the video game, the comparison side by side, how I felt watching it, how I feel like you're gonna feel watching it. Some of the things that they did right. I didn't say anything they did wrong, because let's face it, that show did nothing wrong, and it should be proud of itself.
Mm-hmm.
Halo thought that it was going to be that TV video game
I
adaptation.
forgot there was a TV show.
Nah, this one blows it out of the water. I'm kind of excited to see what Amazon Prime has in store for the God of War series that they're supposed to be doing. God of War is a fantastic video game series. I'm currently playing God of War Ragnarok right now, and if they can get the series right, I think it could be really, really well done and really enjoyable. So we'll see.
It's gonna be expensive.
Yeah,
like
probably.
The Rings of Power.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe, yeah. We also talked today about fungi. We talked a lot about how fungi reproduces. We talked a lot about how fungi can infect things. We talked a lot about how fungi spreads in general, how it operates, you know, from the regular household mushrooms to the psilocybin fueled magic mushrooms. We talked a little bit about how The Last of Us viral fungal infection could possibly be a thing, but it's ages from happening now in our lifetime due to, you know, multiple factors. It's possible, but at the same time, like, not happening anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
As funny
Hopefully.
As funny as it is to kind of imagine, like, what if funny, right? Yeah, no, keep knocking on wood and praying to God. And then of course we also talked about, you know, Pedro Pascal, because we had to. It's obligatory at this point. You can't mention The Last of Us at this point without mentioning Pedro Pascal. He's an amazing actor. I can't wait to see where they take things in the second season. I can't wait to see some of his other projects that he's in.
And the possibility of Last of Us Part 3. Druckmann's teased it, but tight-lipped.
I'm waiting. I mean, seriously, beautiful team, and just, gosh, smart writers and the programmers. Like, it just, the whole team. They came and crafted a well done sequence. I love that the show implemented a lot of, like, even like game mechanics, like them, you know, crouching and pulling their backpacks off when they're crafting, or, you know, helping someone over a wall with a boost. They kept a lot of those kind of like mechanics in the game, and there were lots of Easter eggs. I won't say, because I want you to look for them when people watch them. I want you.
Give us one.
Well, besides the crouching thing and, you know, a few other things like that, let me see, what's a good Easter egg? At one point, Joel finds a Firefly dog tag. That's an Easter egg to, like, things that you can find in the game with different fireflies, like names and things like that. There was an Easter egg with the whole, like, Troy Baker, the voice of Joel, playing another important character from the game. What's sad, and I hate to spoil this, is they don't meet. I was hoping for the voice of Joel to meet the person playing Joel. and it didn't really quite happen, but they still existed in the same
Damn.
episode, so I'll give it to them.
Okay.
Tell us other things, for people to look for if they want or listen.
Well, that's good. That means watch it. HBO.
HBO.
HBO Max.
Right. Yay, gotta put that Max.
Gotta be particular about it, or specific. Okay.
Do
Cool.
you have anything else to add to the arguably awesome recap? I mean, what's going on with you, buddy? How's life?
Shoot, life has been crazy, especially when you're teaching young minds. I feel like I'm getting infected with a virus from the young minds. I've been sick more in a month than I have in my life.
Jeez.
Working with young kids. It's crazy. That's why I'm wearing a mask again every day.
I have to watch
I don't
out
want
for
to get
you,
an
buddy.
infection. Don't take over my mind like an ant, and then I blow my top or whatever it was saying.
I mean, that's what it
God.
looks like with those damn clickers, like all that mushroom floating out of their face.
Now everybody's gonna be looking on YouTube at these nasty things and then get sidetracked and be like, "Oh, I gotta go back to the podcast." We've been gone for an hour.
Wait until Halloween when people start dressing up as that crap.
Woo! Yeah, do it yourself. God. Anyway. Okay, well, check out The Last of Us, the video game, and the HBO Max series, because you'll be on the edge of your seat until we meet.
And don't forget
again.
to continue listening to the Arguably Awesome podcast as we head further into season 3.
Yeah.
Until then.
Did you like that sound?
I'm sure lots of people like that sound. Sounds like some sloppy jalopy.
Yeah, baby. We gotta get out of here, guys. I'm losing it. All right. Well, you can roll it.
Oh,